Hey guys, what's up? I'm here with a review of a gross out body horror comedy film from, produced by the master of crap cinema, Ted V. Michaels. He was I'd say he's the Ed Wood of the 70s and 80s and 60s, and even today he's still making movies. So he's basically the modern Ed Wood, although his films aren't considered to be as bad as Ed Wood's. Yeah. So, and this film is directed by Herb Robbins, who also stars in the film. And this movie is The Worm Eaters. Um, Now I've been excited to watch this one for a while, and I had beyond low expectations going in, especially for a film about a German hermit who has the ability to telepathically communicate with worms, and when his property is stolen from him, he puts worms in everybody's food. And then once the people eat the worms, they are transformed into giant worm people. Yeah, you gotta have low expectations for something like that. The film opens with the title and credits over probably with one of the best horror film themes I've probably ever heard, and pictures of worms doing daily activities like showering, eating, going to school, etc. We get the beginning of the film with these guys sitting around a campfire burping, trying to sleep while drinking. Then Herman shows up and puts down a pile of worms in the distance, and the guys hear the worms crawling, so they pick them up and take them as fishing bait. Our German hermit shows up um, at the mayor's daughter's birthday party the next day, I guess, and kind of ruins it. So these two guys, they want to take, well, the city, they want to take the property that Herman Ungar, our German hermit, lives on, and turn it into a vacation resort. Um, and apparently, his father and the mayor's father owned half of the town. Um, so we meet Herman, who talks to worms, and it's creepier than it sounds. With these close-ups of worms, it gives me chills. So the mayor and Herman argue about the deeds that Herman's father left for him. Let's see. There's talking. There's putting worms in a miniature farm similar to the Fly segment in the Willies, except they're worms and they're still alive. Um, Also, it's hard to understand what Herman is saying at times because his accent and the fact that he mumbles doesn't help much. So our hermit somehow bred worms that eat flesh rather quickly. Some tourists show up at Herman's house and they think it's some kind of resort. He shows them around the property. And then we meet a gang that is trying to find the deed for the house once Umgar's in town, away from his house where the deed is. So there's this conservationist hippie asking him if they'll come to asking Herman if he'll come to one of the meetings. Because they don't want his land to get taken away either. Let's see, he picks up a hitchhiker's bag, and say he's from the lake resort where she's supposed to be. Uh, he talks to his club foot when it refuses to let him drive. He meets this girl at a diner who sings and attempts to sleep with him or something like that, and then he picks up the hitchhiker again, after running some errands, and then he pulls a worm out from behind his ear, and then this annoying bitch and one of the tourists in the tent starts screaming in a really shrill voice. Umgar comes home, and his home has been ransacked, but they didn't find the deed. Or some they didn't find the deed, and then the gold digger from earlier, who was trying to like sleep with Umgar or something, shows up, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna cook for you," and then she gets freaked out by seeing worms and leaves, and comes back to see that Umgar has cooked spaghetti that has worms in it. She eats the worms, and she turns into a human worm creature thing. and that's where I ended it. As expected, everything in this movie is bad. Um, which is a good thing, especially when we were talking about Ted v. Michaels. Um, only people who like the cheesy films of Ted v. Michaels should watch this flick. Only people that are fans of Ted v. Michaels would probably enjoy this. If you're going to watch this film, if you're planning to watch it just because of how the plot sounds, just don't expect anything good from it. Just expect extremely bad stuff. Um, on the gore meter from 1 to 10, 1 being something like The Corpse Grinders, which is actually a Ted v. Michaels film, and 10 being something like Brain Dead. This movie's a maybe 0.5, maybe a 1, because there's the actual eating of worms on camera, and there's a death scene at the end that was a little gross and kind of sad. Not a movie for everybody. Not a movie for B-movie fans. Not even for fans of Ted V. Michael's usual crap films. I mean, even I've seen people that are even fans of Ted say that this one's horrible. So, but I found it very enjoyable and funny, and I'm probably one of the only people that actually found this movie entertaining. I gotta give it a 4 out of 5, just because it's amazingly bad. Anyway, guys, I'm Biscuit Boo 69 signing off. Peace.
You're listening to a demo for